We open right after the Avengers battle in New York. A contractor named Adrian Toombs and his crew have been hired to clean up the wreckage. Mountains of alien Chitauri tech scattered across the city. It's the job that's going to make his company. Then a government agency called the Department of Damage Control shows up and pulls the rug out from under him. New orders, the officer tells him. This cleanup falls under our jurisdiction now. We'll be handling all salvage and disposal from here. You and your crew can go. Adrian doesn't take it well. I sank every dollar I have into new trucks for this job. If this contract gets pulled, I'm finished. There's nothing I can do, and walks off. Furious, Adrian heads back to his garage and finds his crew still sitting on a stash of alien wreckage nobody ever came to collect. His engineer, Mason, starts experimenting with the leftover alien tech, fascinated by what it can actually do. Before long, he realizes they can build something seriously dangerous out of it. That's the moment Adrian decides to go all in. If the system's going to cut him out of a legitimate contract, he'll make his money illegally instead. And just like that, Adrian Toombs becomes the man who's about to turn this movie upside down. Cut to 8 years later, Adrian's built an entire underground operation, manufacturing weapons out of alien technology and selling them on the black market. Using pieces of that same tech, he's built himself a working flight suit, the Vulture, which he uses both to fly and to keep stealing fresh alien material whenever he needs it. Meanwhile, Tony Stark's found out about a kid swinging around New York calling himself Spider-Man. A video of him went viral, and Stark wants to know exactly who this is. Tony tracks down Peter Parker right around the time he's assembling a team to go up against Captain America. He offers Peter a brand new suit, and Peter's absolutely thrilled. Once that mission wraps, Stark drops him back home and hands over the suit for good. Peter can't stop staring at it. 2 months later, Peter's fallen into a routine. School lets out, and he suits up every single day to help around the neighborhood. One afternoon, he spots a group of thugs robbing an ATM and swings in to stop them, taking them down without much trouble. Then one of them pulls out a high-tech weapon and blasts him, the exact same Chitauri-based tech Adrian's been selling. The blast levels a nearby shop entirely. Peter drags the shop owner to safety and reports the whole thing to Happy, Stark's head of security. Happy brushes it off completely. Back home, Peter realizes someone stole his backpack while he was out. He sneaks in quietly to avoid Aunt May, ducks into his room, and locks the door behind him, only to turn around and find his best friend Ned, already sitting there. Ned's floored. "You're Spider-Man?" He asks if Aunt May knows. Peter tells him nobody knows, swearing him to total secrecy. The next day, Ned can't stop asking questions, until he overhears Liz mention she thinks Spider-Man's kind of cute. Without thinking, Ned blurts out that Peter actually knows him personally. Liz immediately invites Peter to a party she's hosting that night, and tells him to bring Spider-Man along. Peter's furious with Ned. "I know you like Liz, and I know Spider-Man likes you back." Technically, that night, Peter and Ned head to the party, where Flash starts needling Peter about his supposedly imaginary friendship with Spider-Man. Fed up, Peter slips away and suits up, right as an explosion goes off nearby. He races over and finds Vulture's men underneath a bridge, selling high-tech weapons to a local gang. Exactly the kind of thing that must have armed those ATM robbers. Peter's phone rings mid-eavesdrop, and the noise gives him away. The dealers scatter, but Peter jumps in, wrestles a weapon away, and starts fighting, until Jackson, one of Vulture's men, blasts him back with his own high-tech weapon. The buyers flee. Peter chases them, but Jackson keeps him pinned down with repeated blasts, until Peter loses his web shooter completely. Jackson calls his boss, and Adrian shows up in the Vulture suit himself. He grabs Peter, carries him up to a terrifying height, and drops him. Peter's parachute deploys, entangles instantly, sending him plunging toward the water below. His suit's sensors send an emergency signal straight to Tony Stark, who arrives just in time to pull him out. Peter tells Stark someone's flying around selling dangerous weapons, and insists they need to stop him. Stark's unmoved. "There are other people whose job that is. Cut the hero stuff. You didn't need to come," Peter fires back. "I didn't come. This is a robot," he tells Peter, flat out, to leave the criminals alone and focus on helping regular people instead. Peter insists he wants to do something bigger. "Don't push it," Stark warns. "If you see that weapon again, call Happy," and with that, he's gone. Shaken and frustrated, Peter heads home, and on the way, spots the same broken high-tech gun lying on the ground. He grabs it and brings it back with him. Back at Vulture's hideout, Adrian's furious with Jackson. "You can't use those weapons out in the open. If the Avengers or the FBI catch wind of this, our whole operation's finished." Jackson brushes him off, so Adrian kills him on the spot, then orders his other guy, Schultz, to go retrieve the missing weapon. Peter and Ned, meanwhile, are examining the recovered gun in a workshop, realizing these guys have been fusing human tech with alien tech to build something this dangerous. We need to find out who's actually behind this. They head to the school lab to keep researching. When Peter spots Schultz nearby, searching for that same weapon, Peter tails him quietly. Schultz comes up empty and starts to leave, so Peter plants a tracking spider on him without being noticed, letting him and Ned monitor his movements remotely. Ned traces the signal to Maryland, and Peter decides they need to go there themselves. The only catch is it's roughly 500 kilometers away. Then Peter gets an idea. The school's academic decathlon team has a competition happening near Maryland, so he signs up for the trip. The next day, the whole team boards a school bus and heads out. En route, Happy calls. He's been tracking Peter's location. "Why are you leaving New York?" Peter lies and says it's just a school trip. "I'll be keeping an eye on you regardless." Once they arrive, Peter starts removing the tracker from his suit so Happy can't follow him anymore. Ned tells him it's a bad idea. "Mr. Stark doesn't trust me," and rips it out anyway. Sure enough, when Ned tries tracking him afterward, the signal's gone completely. Ned also mentions the suit has a bunch of locked features, all sealed behind something called Training Wheels Protocol. "Turn it off," Peter tells him. "I don't need training. I need to prove I can actually handle real missions." Ned disables the protocol. The moment Peter puts the suit on to head out, a smart AI voice activates inside it. Peter starts calling her Karen. She informs him the Training Wheels protocol's been cleared, unlocking every feature the suit's got. "I planted a tracker on those guys. I need to reach them." Karen pulls up navigation instantly. Karen guides Peter to the location, a fuel station, where 3 of Vulture's men are sitting in a parked car. Karen offers to activate an advanced audio mode, so Peter can actually hear their conversation, and it works. He learns they're planning to rob a damage control truck, passing through soon, one loaded with leftover Chitauri wreckage. Spider-Man moves to intercept, but crashes immediately because his suit's rapid-fire web mode accidentally activates mid-swing. Karen explains the suit's got 576 possible web shooter combinations, and Peter, completely out of his depth without proper training, just tells her to pick one for him. The damage control truck rolls through right on schedule, and Vulture's already there, tearing straight into the back of it with his high-tech gear. He grabs the Chitauri core and starts to fly off, but Peter yanks the bag right out of his hands. Peter attacks, but his web shooters glitch into the wrong mode, and he tumbles straight into the truck, knocked unconscious. When he wakes up, he's locked inside a sealed damage control storage container overnight, the exit gate not opening again until morning. Stuck with nothing else to do, Peter passes the time chatting with his AI. He spends the night finishing every locked training module in the suit. Checking Vulture's stolen bag, he finds the actual Chitauri energy core inside, and Karen warns him it can detonate like a bomb if it's exposed to radiation. Peter panics, remembering he'd handed that same core off to Ned earlier for safekeeping. He tries calling Ned repeatedly, with no luck, then works on hacking the door lock to break out. After a long struggle, the door finally opens. Peter rushes off to catch up with his decathlon team. Meanwhile, Ned's carried that stolen core with him the whole time, straight into the decathlon competition. The team wins, and to celebrate, they head out to see the Washington Monument. Peter calls Ned to check on the core. "It's in my bag." Peter starts warning him it could go off like a bomb, but Liz grabs the phone mid-sentence, annoyed, demanding to know where Peter's been. The whole group heads inside the monument, and as security scans their bags, the radiation exposure triggers the core to activate. As everyone rides the elevator up, the core detonates, cracking the top section of the monument and knocking out every safety system in the building. Peter rushes over. MJ tells him her friends are stuck up top, and Peter starts scaling the tower himself to save them, since the elevator's already stalled midway and everyone inside is terrified. Karen warns him the elevator's about to plummet, so she activates a scanning mode that releases a small spider drone to search for a way in. It finds a window, but it's bulletproof glass, and Peter can't break through no matter how hard he tries. Police show up outside and immediately mistake him for the threat. With the elevator starting to fail completely, Peter has an idea. He grabs a passing helicopter and leaps straight through the window into the monument. The elevator starts dropping, and Peter catches it with his webbing just in time, saving everyone inside. But the sudden strain drags him down with it. Thinking fast, he fires a web line above him to anchor the elevator, then pulls everyone out one at a time. Liz is the last one out, and right as she clears the doorway, the elevator finally gives way completely. Peter catches her with his webbing at the last possible second. Just like that, Spider-Man becomes the hero hero of the entire school. Back home, Peter asks Karen to pull up an old recording, the footage of Vulture's men selling weapons under the bridge. Karen runs a background check, and while Vulture's crew has stayed completely off the books, she finds a match for the buyer, a small-time criminal named Aaron Davis. Peter tracks him down directly. "Tell me who's selling these weapons. If they hit the streets, this city's finished. I don't want that any more than you do. My family lives here too. I don't know where their base is, but I do know they're selling more hardware to my buddy tonight, on the Staten Island ferry." Peter heads to the ferry and spots Adrian there too, with no idea he's actually looking at Vulture. The deal's about to go down when Peter crashes in and starts taking everyone out. Adrian shows up in person, and right as Peter closes in on him, the FBI arrives, giving Adrian the perfect distraction to suit up and start attacking everyone in sight. Peter tries to grab hold of Vulture with his webbing, but Vulture blasts him with his weapon. Peter manages to snatch the gun away, but it activates on its own, firing a laser that slices the entire ferry clean in half. Vulture grabs Schultz and flies off, leaving the ship to fall apart and start sinking. Peter webs every structural point he can reach, trying to hold the two halves together, and for a moment, it actually works, until the webbing starts to give. That's when Iron Man arrives and uses his own tech to physically weld the ferry back together. Stark meets Spider-Man privately afterward, furious. "You hijacked a multi-million-dollar suit, just so you could do exactly what I told you not to do. They were selling dangerous weapons," Peter argues. "I warned you. If you'd actually listened, none of this would have happened." Stark climbs out of his own suit. "If anyone had died today, that would have been on you. And if something happened to you, that's on me, and I'm not ready for that." Peter apologizes, insisting he just wants to be like him. "You could be better than me," Stark tells him, then asks for the suit back. "I'm nothing without this suit. If you're nothing without it, then you don't deserve to have it." He takes it back. Peter comes home to find Aunt May seriously worried. "I know you're skipping school. You disappear every night. I need you to tell me the truth. What's going on?" Peter lies, telling her his internship with Stark got canceled, and that's why he's been off. She comforts him, promising it'll all work out. Peter spirals into a genuine funk, unsure what to do with himself, and slowly settles back into a normal routine. Eventually, Peter works up the nerve to tell Liz he likes her. "I know," she says. "You're a terrible secret keeper." She invites him to dinner that night. Peter shows up dressed for dinner and finds Adrian Toombs standing right there. His stomach drops. Vulture is Liz's dad, but Adrian has no idea who Peter really is, since he's never actually seen Spider-Man's face. He welcomes Peter inside anyway. Peter and Liz head off together to the school's homecoming dance, with Adrian driving them. On the way, something Liz says tips Adrian off. He realizes Peter's actually Spider-Man. He finds an excuse to send Liz ahead to the party alone, claiming he needs to talk to Peter first. Once she's gone, Adrian turns to him directly. "Does Liz know you're Spider-Man?" "No. You saved my daughter's life once, so I'm giving you one chance. Stay out of my business from here on, or your family won't be safe." Peter heads inside to the dance, but he can't just let it go. He pulls his old homemade suit out of a hidden drawer at school and gets ready to move. Before he can leave, Schultz ambushes him, ripping his web shooters loose in the fight. Peter's struggling to fend him off when Ned shows up and saves him. Peter fills Ned in. Vulture is Liz's dad, and tells him to call Happy and track Peter's phone, since he'd left it in Adrian's car earlier. Peter runs off to find Adrian. Along the way, he runs into Flash and grabs his car and phone. He calls Ned back, then tries reaching Happy, who, once again, doesn't take him seriously. Meanwhile, Happy's overseeing the transport of the Avengers equipment to their new headquarters, the exact shipment Adrian's planning to hit next. Ned tells Peter about it, and Peter heads straight for Vulture's hideout. "Why are you doing this to Liz?" Peter demands. "I'm not betraying anyone. Everything I'm doing is for my family." He tries reasoning with Peter, telling him he's still just a kid who doesn't understand how the world really works. "I know enough to know selling weapons to criminals is wrong. We're the regular guys nobody cares about," Adrian snaps back. "We work for rich men. We risk our lives for their wars, and nobody ever looks out for us. They always eat first, and we get what's left over." Mid-rant, he attacks Peter with his wings, collapsing the building's support pillars and burying Peter under the entire roof. Adrian escapes, his plane ready for takeoff. Peter's alive, but badly hurt, trapped under the rubble. He calls out for help, and catching his own reflection in a puddle of water, Stark's words come back to him. "If you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve to have it." Something in him hardens, and with everything he's got, he pushes the debris off and gets free. He spots Adrian's plane taking off and races after it, latching onto the underside of the aircraft. Adrian feels something off, but Schultz assures him it's just the new engine settling in. The plane's cloaked with an invisibility panel, meant to slip past everyone's radar undetected, but Schultz has custom glasses that let him see through the cloak, and he spots the plane clearly. He and Vulture climb aboard, unaware Peter's already clinging on beneath it. The wind pressure nearly rips Peter off the plane, until Vulture activates a high-altitude vacuum seal in his suit and heads straight into the cockpit, hacking the plane's system and launching a decoy drone to redirect it off course. Peter reaches Vulture's suit, but can't quite pry it loose. Happy, watching the flight remotely, has no idea the drone's fooling him. Everything looks normal on his end. Peter finally manages to knock the suit sideways, just enough to break the vacuum seal, triggering an alarm inside the cabin. Vulture spots Peter and attacks. Peter dodges, but the struggle damages one of the plane's engines, and the whole thing starts going down. Schultz begs Adrian to bail. Adrian refuses. "I'm not leaving empty-handed," and heads back inside for the cores. The plane's headed straight for the city, until Peter forces it to change course, sending it crashing onto an empty beach instead of downtown. The entire aircraft is destroyed. Peter survives, but Vulture, suit heavily damaged, attacks him anyway, landing blow after blow. Then Adrian spots the Chitauri cores nearby, and greed takes over. He grabs every last one and tries to fly off with them. His suit, already too damaged to hold together, starts to rupture mid-flight. Peter sees it happening and tries to stop him, webbing him to hold him back. But Vulture cuts the webbing loose. He drops from the sky before he can even get airborne. Peter dives after him and pulls him to safety. By the time Happy arrives with the police, the entire wreckage is webbed together neatly, Vulture bound and waiting right in the middle of it. Peter leaves a note behind and slips away. The next day at school, Peter sees Liz clearing out her locker. He tells her he's sorry about her dad. "We're moving to Oregon. My mom likes it there." She says goodbye and walks off. The following day, Peter gets a message from Happy during class, asking to meet him in the bathroom. When they connect, Peter asks what he's doing there. "I came to apologize, and Tony wants to see you." He brings Peter along to the brand new Avengers headquarters, just finished construction. Peter can barely contain his excitement. Stark greets him warmly, genuinely proud of everything he's accomplished. "I shouldn't have taken your suit, but everything happens for a reason. You've more than proven yourself." He reveals a new suit waiting for him. "There's a room full of reporters through that door. I'm ready to officially bring you onto the team. Introduce the world to its newest Avenger. Go ahead and suit up." Peter's overjoyed, looking at the new suit. Stark tells him that after the press conference, he'll be moving in permanently, settled, official, part of the team for good. Peter turns him down. "My city needs me." He's realized that if he becomes an Avenger now, there's nobody left looking out for the regular people in his own neighborhood. Stark's genuinely stunned and tells him he just passed the real test. He asks Happy to drive Peter home instead. When Peter gets there, a package is waiting from Mr. Stark, his suit, sent back to him for good. Thrilled, Peter puts it on right there in his room. Just as he lifts the mask off his face, the door opens, and Aunt May sees him standing there in the full suit. And that's exactly where the movie ends.